Imagine a drama that has been going on for exactly 21 years. Art the season brilliantly. Get your hopes up in January, stumble in February, collapse in March, and completely throw in the towel by April. An adventure full of injury crises and freak, unexplainable accidents. A series where every season feels the same, but the finale is even worse than the Game of Thrones ending. The Premier League title trophy hasn't even passed near the Emirates for 21 years. But on the other hand, this fate is closer than ever to changing. The missing pieces of the puzzle have fallen into place one by one. Arsenal, a team that always had something missing, yet became famous for almost always making it. This was the symbol of the process that defined Arsenal's last 5 years. The transformation initiated during the Arteta era. When Mikel Arteta took charge of Arsenal, he carried a heavy burden on his shoulders. The young manager, who came from Pep Guardiola's coaching staff, had to face criticism for a long time for trying to copy his mentor's methods. Criticisms that were not entirely unfair. In recent years, Arsenal have signed former Manchester City players such as Zinchenko, Gabriel Jesus, and Raheem Sterling. Arteta was trying to adapt Guardiola's trademark methods, like the inverted fullback and the false nine, to Arsenal. Of course, there is nothing wrong with taking inspiration from one of the very best in the game. However, Arsenal often looked like a less successful copy, following City a few years behind. Arsenal are a team that every season inevitably crash into an invisible barrier just when they seem to be flying. One of those barriers has undoubtedly been the injury crises, a long-standing Arsenal tradition. I'm not sure how far back we need to rewind, but some Arsenal fans see the cruel tackle by Sunderland's Dan Smith in April 2006, which broke Abou Diaby's leg, as the beginning of this run of misfortune. From those days on, from Jack Wilshere to Tomasz Rosicky, from Aaron Ramsey to Santi Cazorla, from Kai Havertz to Gabriel Jesus, Arsenal's injury list has never been empty. Medical reports often felt like a record of shattered hopes. Many players who arrived with great expectations and once played key roles in the backbone of this team failed to clear this barrier, just like Tierney and Tomiyasu, who departed the club this summer. However, this transfer window may be a sign that something is finally starting to change at Arsenal. That the club has learned something. After spending 12 years at Atletico Madrid, Andrea Berta took over as Arsenal's new sporting director last March, and he has made smart moves not only from a technical and tactical perspective, but also in terms of physical continuity. Arsenal have also made very smart moves in the transfer market this season. The players signed this summer, perhaps with the exception of Madueke, all have fairly clean injury records. Moreover, the squad is now much better suited to the physical demands of the Premier League and to competing on 4 fronts, with a significantly deeper and broader roster. Perhaps the time has finally come for Mikel Arteta to stop borrowing Pep's lecture notes and start writing his own book. Despite entering the 6th year of his managerial career and having won no trophies other than 1 FA Cup and 2 Community Shields, the club's board and the fans still trust him. Well, at least most of them. He has borne the full burden of the process, and if this team is going to win something, it almost feels like destiny that it should happen under Arteta's leadership. It must be acknowledged that the competitive character this team has today is largely the work of the Spanish coach. His communication with young players, the patience he shows in their development, and the passion he occasionally displays on the touchline are the elements that make him more than just a tactician. Like Wenger, he is a long-term thinker. Like Guardiola, he is perhaps a little too obsessed with details. But ultimately, he is someone determined to carve out his own path. After finishing second in each of the past 3 seasons, Arsenal finally give the impression of a completed structure this summer. Everything now seems to be in its rightful place. With the addition of Victor Gyökeres to the squad, it's hard to argue that this team still has any obvious weaknesses. With him, Arteta's game could move away from physical chaos and settle into a more streamlined, structured system. And Zubimendi has arrived to become the on-field conductor of this new setup. What's more, Arsenal had to compete with giants like Real Madrid and City to sign him. Christian Nørgaard, meanwhile, has worn the Brentford shirt for the past 6 years and served as the team captain. He was the on-pitch leader of one of the Premier League's most underrated systems. The 30-year-old Dane may not make headlines or feature in highlight reels, but he is a strong candidate to become one of Arsenal's load-bearing pillars this season. He is a midfielder accustomed to the pace of the league, physically strong and aggressive. He is among the best in the Premier League when it comes to interceptions. Nørgaard is a player who stays loyal to tactical discipline, rarely loses possession, possesses high football intelligence, and keeps his ego low. A reliable role player who can take responsibility alongside Zubimendi or step up in his absence. With this transfer, Arsenal's midfield has grown stronger, not only technically, but also in terms of professionalism and intelligence. Behind elite names like Odegaard, Rice, Marino, and Zubimendi, they now have a character who can both give them breathing room and provide leadership to younger players. So what about the situation in the attacking line? Arsenal are set to step back into the Emirates years later with a £67.5 million return. Describing Eze isn't difficult. Classifying him is. Is he a number 8, a second striker, or a left winger? At Crystal Palace, operating as a free inside forward behind Mateta, Eze has been a creative force who consistently tests opposition defenses and delivers an average of 15 to 20 goals per season in terms of overall goal contribution. With his ability to protect the ball in tight spaces, explosive dribbling, and cutting inside to get shots off, he is a threat that is extremely difficult for opponents to defend against. His dribbling ability sets him apart from the rest. He averages 4.8 successful take-ons per match with a 51% success rate. He is consistently ranked in the top 5 in this category and was the Premier League leader in the 2022-23 season. Eze can sometimes split a defense in two with a single move. Moreover, he has a rich shooting repertoire. Curlers from distance, volleys, even free kicks. In a team that plays to Odegaard's rhythm and breathes with Rice's security, Eze profiles as a player who doesn't overly rely on control and instead hunts his own opportunities. Let's start from the back. David Raya was one of Arsenal's most consistent players last season. He delivered a reassuring performance in building play from the back, dealing with aerial balls and shot-stopping reflexes. Now he also has a reliable backup behind him in Kepa. Among goalkeepers who played at least 30 matches in the Premier League last season, 2 of the 4 who conceded the fewest goals are now at Arsenal. At the heart of the defense, the Saliba-Gabriel pairing is arguably the strongest and most well-balanced center-back partnership currently in the Premier League. In this regard, only the Van Dijk-Konate duo can truly compete with them. Behind them, there are clear alternatives on both sides of the ball, with Mosquera as a right-footed option and Kiwior as a left-footed one. At left-back, there are 3 names offering 2 distinct player profiles. Riccardo Calafiori can operate like a classic wing-back, pushing high and wide to provide attacking width, while also being able to tuck into the defensive line. Miles Lewis-Skelly and Oleksandr Zinchenko, on the other hand, take on more modern, interior-based roles by stepping inside and offering additional options in midfield. At right back, Ben White has already been setting the standard for years with his consistent and stable performances. Jurrien Timber, with his defensive toughness and technical quality, further enhances Arteta's tactical flexibility. Mosquera can play at right back, Kiwior at left back, while Calafiori, Ben White, and Timber are all capable of operating in the heart of the defense. This season, Arsenal has won 15 out of 23 matches, with 5 draws and 3 losses. Manchester City and Aston Villa are trailing just 4 points behind them in the league. Meanwhile, they are delivering an extraordinary performance in the Champions League, maintaining a perfect 8-for-8 record and holding the top spot with 0 draws or defeats. Naturally, Arsenal's patience has run out. Fueled by years of fatigue and recent consistency, they fully expect to be crowned champions this season. If you've watched the video this far, I guess you liked it. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. See you.